I wanted to talk about something that was on my mind, and it simply relates to being a people pleaser because I still suffer with some of these tendencies now. And I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it. Maybe you guys can relate or experience the same thing. But sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, yo, I'd be so nice to people, and then, it just, things just don't pan out, or you get the bad end of the stick. Wow, that's a notification. I get a bad end of the stick, and I'm just like, yo, what did I do to deserve this? If anything, like, I thought I was being like a cool dude, or, I was being kind to you. Like, why is it that you treat me like dog water? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trash. And it really comes down to like feeling guilty for having boundaries. I feel like for me, I feel like anytime like somebody strike me or do something wrong, even if it's like something minute and I feel a type of way, I shove it down so far. And then there comes that one moment where it could be something as minute as something else, like something like somebody picked the wrong ice cream flavor or something, and you just blow up because you shoved so many things down. You were so busy being nice. And it kind of made me think like being a nice guy or just being a person that's like people pleasing, you don't really give people a chance to know who you are. But I get it because it's like I come from a place where I didn't feel accepted, especially in my younger days. I always wanted to be, have some friends and things of that nature. And I had friends. I have really good friends, you know what I'm saying, from high school that I still talk to now. But I didn't appreciate the friends that I had. I thought I needed like everyone to like me, you know what I'm saying? Because no one likes to feel like they're ostracized, or they don't want to feel like people don't like them. Like that's never a good feeling. But it came to a point in time where I just stopped caring so much because it's like at the end of the day, those who are for you and who are contributing to your life in some way, shape, or form, or that's compatible with your life, I think that's the better word to use, they will understand who you are without you being super nice. They will respect whatever boundaries that you have. And I feel like a lot of the times I felt guilty for having boundaries because, one, I've never set them like strong boundaries. And two, I felt like I was wrong for having boundaries. But like in my mind, I'll be like, yo, that's wrong. And I know that's wrong. Everyone else, when I go talk to them about the situation, would say it's wrong. But when it comes down to set the boundary, it's like I feel guilty, or I would set the boundary and then feel guilty about it afterwards. Like it would eat me alive, even though I know that whatever they were doing was not correct. And I've come to terms with it now more days. I still feel a little bit of guilt when I set boundaries, but it just comes from a place of whenever I would set boundaries, like either the person wouldn't receive it well or I would lose a friend or something like that. And I just didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to lose a good friend because I was like, hey, man, I don't think you should do that, man. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. And then it turns into this whole big flare up and things of that nature. I just don't like that. I don't know if it's just me being conflict avoidant because I do have those tendencies as well. I do not like bad energy. I don't like when people's throwing hands. I don't like why can't we just hash it out and talk it out? Why we got to go to a Mortal Kombat match? You feel me? Because we had a disagreement, or I just say, hey man, I'm not really banging with what you just did. Can you please not do it again? You know what I'm saying? And I just stopped caring so much because at the end of the day, like people who understands your boundaries and don't get upset at you for having those boundaries are the true friends and the true relationships you want to cherish, right? If somebody gets upset because of a boundary you set, even when it's not like extreme, it could be as simple as, hey, we cool and all, we don't have to text every day, you the homie, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's like texting you all the time and things of that nature, and you just don't roll like that, or you just be busy and then they want more of your time, it could be like for a significant other or a friend. That friend may be needy or whatever, and they might be going through something in their life too where they need, that attention. But it's like I had to remember sometimes, like, as much as I want to be a friend to them, I didn't get them in the situation that they were in, and it's not my responsibility. Even me saying that now kind of feels wrong because it's like, damn, you're not responding. Like, you ain't trying to hear what I got going on. It's not that. It just be sometimes I don't be in the right mental space to hear it. Or like, say I just work from 7 to 4, and then I did class from 4 to 6. And then I'm trying to woosah. I get a call. I'm like, damn, I just got off like a 12-day shift. I can't even wind down. I got to pick up the phone, right? So I pick up the phone, boom, boom, boom. We hash it out, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, honestly, I give my perspective and things of that nature. And then, once or twice is cool, but like it keeps happening over and over. I don't know, maybe it just turns into a thing where it's like, damn, what's going on? Like, what's really happening over here? Yeah, it might be irritants to some of y'all. I know for me, it could get irritating to like always have to give someone advice about the same thing over and over. And it's like, are you really taking my advice, or you just want to vent about the situation over and over again? I don't know if I'm being harsh by doing that, but I've done that in the past. So I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of gave my 2 cents on the situation. Nothing seems to change. It just feels like I'm just talking just to talk, and you're not really taking my advice. I don't want to really talk about it anymore. Love you to death, though, but like, I understand, but it's like, come on, we got to do something. At some point, you got to either, like, why are you coming to tell me about it? Sometimes people just want to vent about it, and that's okay. That's cool. But the same situation over a long period of time, I don't know. For me, that can get a little annoying, and I want to be with my friend, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk about positive stuff. I don't want it to always be like a dummy downer moment or something that's negative happening in your life. And that's practically why I stopped venting to my friends so much too, because I would feel guilty for venting to my friends because I would feel like every time I talk to them, it would be like something went down or something like that. So I'm speaking to myself as well too. So whenever I have an issue, I try to deal with it myself for the most part, but if it gets to the point where I really can't handle it, things of that nature, I go to my friends and be like, hey man, let me know if I'm bugging, this, that, and the third. But I don't understand why it has to be that way. Especially like for a long time, I thought being a nice guy was like the right thing to do, but it just gives people the ammunition to treat you like shit, which is so weird because it's like you're being good to people, and it's like people will see that as weakness. Like, look at this guy. He don't have like a angry feather in his body. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I used to teach kids in dance. I would be a dance teacher, and I was calm. I would have conversations with the kids. You know what I mean? I would get really involved with what they got going on. But they did not take my word. Like, it was very hard for them to pay attention to me because they thought like everything was sweet and shits and giggles all the time, you know what I mean? And that's my fault too, because I was like, I'm a very like energetic, upbeat type of dude 90% of the time. So I can understand where the kids would be like, oh wow, Joel is being serious right now. Look at this guy. He's being serious for once. They don't take it seriously because it's a rare thing for them to see. And they're like, they only take it seriously when I start getting upset. You know what I'm saying? And that's the tone that I put. But I'm like, yo, why can't we just play hard and work hard at the same time? Like, when we joking and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we just joke? And then when it's time to work, we work. That's how I operate. But now I've come to realize, like, if you too kind, especially with the kids, they will they will wild out on you. They will wild out on you. So now I move on the timing that I move on now, I used to give people like a lot of chances. I would be like, hey, man, like I would let them do something. I wouldn't say nothing about it. I just let it rock, but I peeped it. I'd be like, okay, all right, cool. I see that, but I don't say nothing about it. I let it rock. I let it happen like 2 or 3 more times, and I'd be like, I ain't gonna lie. You keep doing this one thing, and it's getting me like irritated. Like, and then people be like, what are you talking about? Like, they'll start acting weird because you never brought it up. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you would think that people would know what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? But again, that could just be all in my head. And I used to think that. I used to be like, yeah, people should know like common decency and things of that nature, not to say certain things. But yeah, it's not that. You got to literally tell people like the first time it happens, you got to tell them. Do not run around it. That's the new rule that I operate under. If somebody do something that's slightly, even if it's a slight irritant, I'm like, hey man, I didn't really mess with that. It don't got to be no big deal. I'll be like, hey man, I don't really mess with that. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Now, if they do it again, obviously they're not respecting a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, cool. You don't respect that boundary. Cool. I give you one more slice. You do it again? oh yeah, we're done. We're not talking anymore. Before, I used to feel so bad for doing that, or I would simply like remove myself from the situation. Like people would do something that irritate me. I wouldn't even say nothing. I would just flat out not talk to them no more. And I felt guilty for a long time for doing that. But it's like, I was very conflict avoidant. I didn't want to spark no negative energy. I'm very upbeat. I'm very hee ha ha. I'm trying to have a good time. And it takes a lot for me to get worked up. So when I do get worked up, it's like you have to really did something like terrible. You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of patience. I know I have a lot of patience. So when I get to the point where I'm visibly upset, yeah, you fucked up. You fucked up. Okay? Pardon my French, by the way, but that's why I be telling people I don't like getting upset because, I know I have a lot of patience and I have a lot of tolerance. So I be giving people grace, a lot of grace. Even now, even with the boundaries that I have now, I give people a lot of grace. So when it does happen, I know it's justified because I'm like, I've been telling you this whole time that you've been crossing a boundary and it seems like it's not going through your head. And now you're surprised when I don't want to be a friend no more. So now it's more of I'm going to let you know I'm not going to be a friend, then I'm going to hit the door. Before it was like, you did some weird stuff, I'm going to hit the door without you even knowing that we're not even cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? Both of them lead to the same result, but I felt more confident. My confidence built up when I was able to tell them, hey, I don't like what you just did, as opposed to just flat out ghosting them. I feel like that trained me to stop being a people pleaser too, because I learned that certain people will be okay with you setting boundaries, and those are the people that I gravitate to now. I have a friend I'm really good friends with. We had a lot of hash outs, you know what I'm saying? I used to think that relationships, friendships, dating, all that should be smooth the whole time. But that ain't what it is, you know what I'm saying? As crazy and as, uninspiring or as unsmooth as it sounds, relationships, whatever it is, friendship, relationship with your parents, relationship with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, it's always going to be like this, right? But every time it goes like this, it goes up. It goes up. You guys tolerate more and more together. Not saying the whole time the relationship has to be toxic, because that's a whole nother thing, which is why I double down on it should be smooth. Because some people say, oh, if you can't deal with me in my worst, you shouldn't be with me. Hell no, I'm not dealing with you at your worst. Keep it respectful and I'll deal with you. Some people think that conflict is getting disrespectful and this, that, and the third and dealing with them at your worst. Nah, there's certain things that you just don't say, and there's a line that you just don't cross. If you cross that line, and everybody has a different line. Everyone has a line. Everyone has a filter. If you cross that line, you're done. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to get some space, something. But I'm telling you, something like that changes the dynamic of the relationship forever. And then people ask, oh, why you change? There's something that happened in the relationship that made someone change. It's not something that they just thought of. It's cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was just something that I was just tired of doing. I was tired of caring about what people thought about me. I still do now because I'm a human being, but it's not to the degree of every time I see a negative comment now, I get sparked up. I just hit the block button real quick, and then I start reading comments for the day. You know what I mean? I'll be chilling, right? But before, when I was streaming, oh yeah, them it bothered me a lot. You know what I mean? It bothered me a whole lot. But now I'm more on some if somebody say something weird to me or do something weird to me, I'm gonna address it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be respectful about it. But if you do it again, go suck your mother. Go suck your blood clot. Right? Go suck your blood clot, mother. You know what I mean? Once it's cool. Once it's not cool, but it's all right, you're human. The only thing I could expect a human being to do is to mess up or have a fault. Everyone is going to mess up at some point in time, which is why I believe in chances, right? Too many chances is something totally different, right? If I keep constantly telling you about something that you're doing over and over and over, every time I tell you is a chance, right? I don't have to physically come out and say I'm giving you a chance. Every time I bring out a boundary that you're something's making me uncomfortable or you know what I mean? Like something that is a boundary or something that just makes you feel uncomfortable in some sort of way, then that is a chance that's being given to the other person, right? They're bringing it up because first, it takes a lot for someone like me to bring up something that makes me feel uncomfortable because I come from a place where I just swallow everything in and then the lid just pops off eventually, right? I try not to do that. I have not done that. It's been a while since I've done something like that. So I'm proud of myself. But I don't wait to tell people like, hey, I don't think that was cool. Don't do that again. I'm so proud that I'm able to just be like, that was weird. I don't know if you should do that. Sometimes I could be wrong by saying that was weird, but I'm going to still address it so then we could have a conversation about it, and I'll be like, okay, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I try to understand whatever the other person did, but at the end of the day, if it's something that was violated or a boundary that was set or something, a trigger or something, it's better off that you say it so somebody knows exactly what to do with that information. Like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like I had a friend, right? He would like make jokes about my teeth and things of that nature. And I would just look at him like this. I'd be like, can you not do that? Especially around like other people because I'm very like self-conscious about my teeth. I know a lot of y'all say nothing's wrong with my teeth, but I am self-conscious. It doesn't matter if y'all think nothing's wrong about my teeth. There's a whole past. If y'all want a video on why my teeth is the way it is, because I have veneers now. I don't have like my regular teeth. I have my regular teeth, but I have veneers. But they're for a specific medical reason. If I could just be as transparent as that. If y'all want a video, I could do a whole story at a time. I don't mind. I'm well aware that even with that video being out, people are still going to say what they want to say about my teeth. But back to the point. My friend, you know what I'm saying, when he first met me, he would just make these comments about my teeth and then say I look like Donkey and Shrek and shit. And then I would laugh like uncomfortably. I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Just not be conflict avoidant. But in here, I was like, I don't know why the fuck he keeps doing that. That just irritates me. You know what I mean? But I ain't say nothing because I'm trying to keep it smooth. But every time you try to keep it smooth, that carpet is like, it's getting real bunched up in there. And eventually one side is going to slip and all hell breaks loose. Everything going to come out. So I just told him one time, I was like, hey man, I'm not really like a fan of the jokes. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that, bro. You know what I mean? And he felt the way, but we was cool. You know what I mean? And yeah, I feel like all relationships should be like that. If someone makes you feel guilty for having a boundary, you don't need to be their friend, honestly. Because if they want to be part of your life, they got to fit into whatever it is that you're doing. You being somebody else's friend, you're fitting into their life, whatever they got going on, their program, their schedule. You're squeezing yourself in. And a relationship is two people coming together, whether it's friendships, girlfriend, boyfriend, it's still two people coming together and making something out of it and becoming one in some way, shape, or form. You don't have to be conjoined in like twins or whatever, but like you guys are friends. You guys share the same values. You guys met because of common interests. Something made y'all friends, right? Now, if y'all got two like different types of interests and things of that nature, you can still be friends, but it's, you know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, you met the friends that you have now because either y'all play a sport together, y'all play video games together, y'all have like a common struggle, or y'all pursuing the same degree or something. You know, so there's some kind of correlation. Or something like that, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to make this video. If you experience something like this, type in the comments. Let me see. Type PP in the comments. That sounds crazy. Type PP in the comments if you're like a retired people pleaser or you're going through it right now. I want y'all to be vulnerable in the comments. I want to hear some of y'all thoughts because I know, like, I still have these tendencies myself because I know I'm a great guy. I'm a great person. And sometimes I take more than I'm supposed to take. And then sometimes it can look like a blow up or look like it came out of nowhere. But it's like, I'll be telling them like lightly. I'll be telling them very lightly, hey, don't do this. I don't think it's good. And then it will keep happening. Like, why does it always have to get to the point where people are like literally screaming at you or feeling like got to be violent or something for a boundary to be respected? If it ever has to come to that, you two don't need to be friends, okay? That's my message for the day. And type PP in the comments for people pleaser. Not saying you are a people pleaser, just so I know that you made it to the end of this video. And yeah, love you guys so much. And see you on the next video. Oh, God.